Hey there, everybody. It says I'm live. Let me try and get to my channel and see where I'm at here. I'm also going to try and get DM John on here. If I can find his email. There he is. DM John, I need your email. DM John, I need your email address. I can't seem to find it in my email under your name. I know it was something Outlook or something, right? Yeah, it's not getting there. Hey, it's a critical. How you doing? So I got 3 watching. That's cool. Appreciate everybody coming over here. New subscriber Zachary Melvin. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. And thanks to DM John for sending them my way. He was watching his live stream and he sent them my way basically because I was talking on the side chat. And I appreciate everybody coming over. And I appreciate DM John for what he does for me. And he trying to get the community, the smaller channels together and trying to grow our channels together, and it seems to be working pretty well. I mean, I'm happy with it, and I'm happy with the friendships I made here on YouTube. So, but I'm using StreamYard, which you can only use 6 people at a time. But I'm gonna try and I don't know what everybody else uses for their live streams, but one of these days I'll figure it out because I used to use Hangouts, but they no longer do it. So I heard the beginning of the year they'll get back online with Google or with YouTube. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still trying to find DM John. Trying to find your email, John. There we go. I'm gonna send it to you in the Yukon. I'm just gonna reply to that, and I'm gonna put a link in there. Nope, wrong thing. Wrong one. Okay, let me try this again. DM John, I just sent you a link. If you click on the link, you should be able to go live with me on StreamYard. Yeah, Twitch I haven't done Twitch yet. I do have an account somewhere. I set it up years ago when a friend of mine was doing Twitch. Or he still does it. But I haven't used it. I don't know what OBS is, but I may have to look into that because StreamYard, apparently it's only a trial basis because I had to create a new account tonight. That's what took me so long to get on here. But anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about DMing, preparation versus improvisation. And anybody that's DM before knows they make a plan before, well, most DMs, I should say, make a plan and try to carry that plan out throughout the adventure or through the session. Usually 5 minutes into the session, it goes out the window because the players do something totally different. That's when you have to improv. So, I mean, if anybody's DM before or played, even if you played before, you see a DM has a plan, he comes out with the plan, and 5 minutes into it, your characters decide to do something totally different, and all of a sudden, boom, you're off on a different tangent. So improvisation comes in handy then because you kind of make things up on the fly and go from there. Yeah, DM John, I don't know if you got my email. Did I send it? Yeah, I sent it. Okay. Making sure I sent it for you. So, but yeah, improvisation is when you had something planned and it doesn't go right, and now you've got to come up with something else, either another encounter or you know, talking to an NPC or something like that. DM John, it's under Yukon when I just replied to it because that was the easiest way for me to find you. Yeah. So, but yeah, the plan, as I always like to say, the plan is besieged by the players, and it goes out the window shortly thereafter. But sometimes I can get them turned back into it. Sometimes I can't, and I got to come up with something totally different on the fly because I don't like doing that because I usually plan one session at a time, and I get encounters ready for the session, and I go from there. And when they go off the rails, then I have to improv. The the plan usually goes something like this. I got bad guys lined up, and I want them to face them. I want them to go here or there, and the characters, the players, they come in, they look at it and go, oh, okay, this is cool. But what about this over here? What's this guy doing? They go over here. They want to talk to an NPC. You just threw them in there, and you don't even have a name for them or anything. And they go, we want to talk to the butcher over here. He might know something. So on the fly, I'm making up names like Bob, Jim, Tony, something like that. Something quick and easy I can remember. Hopefully next time when they come back to them. And I'll usually scribble down a little note saying butcher's name's Bob, and I'll have them let them ask questions and give them some details and point them back in the direction I wanted them to hopefully go anyway. And hopefully they don't get sidetracked again. But the improvisation is always right there underneath because you never know when you're going to have to improv because like I said, the players do things that you just don't think of. And you can't plan. You can't prepare for everything that they're going to do. So that's what I wanted to kind of bring out today. Wanted to tell you that. And I'm looking for DM John. I don't see one. He's not coming on here yet. Let's see here. Trying to find his email address so I can just. There it is. I'm gonna compose one. And send this out. And DM John, I'm sending you another link. And message is sent. Hopefully you'll get it here. So this is kind of new for us, for me and DM John. We're trying to go live together here, trying to get him on my channel as a guest chat. and it just doesn't want to work out tonight. But we'll see what happens. So, anybody in the side chat got a question for me about improvisation versus preparation, or want to know anything about DMing or how I DM? Go ahead and throw it out there. Don't be shy. And if you're watching this on the rerun, like, subscribe, check it out. Do I keep a list of random NPC names? After I make them up, I do. I generally, if it's going to be an NPC that I think is going to tell them something or they're going to interact with, I give them names and I try to write it down somewhere so that I have it. But I don't do a list of names and scratch them off as I use them. I know some people do that. I've seen videos where people said they do that. But basically, I'll make up a name, assign it to somebody, make a note of it, and use it in game. And hopefully when they come back to that guy in a month or two game time, I'll have it stored somewhere to where I can see it and remember what the guy's name is. Okay, yeah, you go back to the Butcher Bob and you talk to him. And a lot of times it's something silly like that because Butcher Bob, you're going to remember the name. So I try to make it easy for me, easy for the players. Ishmael, the gardener, it's, go with Gary the gardener. So, but yeah, the improvisation comes in a lot when they want to go sidetracking to find out different answers or looking for different clues. I saw someone else on here. Where'd they go? Yeah, It's a Critical's out there still. John, DM John, I think you're still out there somewhere. But, yeah, so I try to, like I said, I try to make a plan. I try to prepare, and then I go from there to wherever. Let's see. DM John, I think I got you. I had to add you to the stream. Are you there? I got your screen. You're on Discord. Now let me know if you come back. So I'm not hearing you. How do I keep notes? I have a composition tablet that I keep notes in. I keep all the encounters in. There he is. I have a composition tablet that I keep notes in. I keep all the encounters in. YouTube. There he is.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Composition tablet. Yeah, we're getting feedback from the YouTube channel.
About this feedback.
Yeah, if you go to the YouTube channel and go to the video, the live stream, and hit mute, it should go away.
Okay.
Go to the video, the live stream. Whoa. No, I lost him. I had DM John here for a second. I lost him. I don't know, DM John, where'd you go? Yeah, that's how I keep my notes, though, is in the composition notebook. And I kind of go from there. and I'll keep. I also keep notes on OneNote in my phone and on the computer, and I also have the notes pad. And there's
I'm
DM
back.
John again. There we go.
Yeah, I shut everything down and restarted it.
Cool.
So you think Discord's going to do the trick?
I hope. I don't know. I don't know much about Discord.
I don't
So
either. I mean, I use it for World of Tanks,
yeah.
and I mean that's my favorite MMO anyway because you can play, 15 on 15.
Wow.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, what's your thoughts on the preparation versus improvisation when you DM?
Well, you can never prepare too much, and I find as a DM that no matter what preparation you do, you can pretty much guess what you think you perceive where you think they will go, and they go the opposite way every time.
Exactly.
And so you better be on your toes, or you should be. I'm not going to say better. You should be on your toes and be able to improvise. And I was always good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm like you, I keep, binders full. I mean, I have all my work from 1974 on, or 75 when the game started. And I've got, I didn't realize how much material I actually have. I mean, it's insane. And I kept, because I was in the military, I was very systematic in keeping notes. So I would say you should be you can never be too prepared, but definitely be prepared to improvise.
Yeah. 'Cause I've talked to other DMs that they like to do improv 90% of the time and preparation 10% of the time. It's like I'm I'm probably more 60% preparation and 40% improvisation. I mean, I've done whole sessions improv, but I don't like to do that because I like to have a plan going in.
Well, yeah, I spend like 100% of my time preparing. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say percentage wise. I mean, I'm so well prepared normally. I mean, the last couple broadcasts, I hadn't had time to prepare, but because I had been playing Lost Mines of Vandel with another group and I had so much material already researched, it was just like bang, bang, bang. If they did something, I knew what to do automatically. I knew the personalities. I knew, for the NPCs, I knew what the
Right.
Krakow tribe was about. I knew what gods they worshipped. I knew, about Mount Houghton now, just all kinds of stuff that was going on around Phandalin and Leland and, the Tradeway, Neverwinter. It just fell into place.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you know the world and you know the NPCs, you should be good to go. Because I I play my own homebrew world, and I make my own NPCs up, and
Yep.
I just go from there. And I know what I want, what I expect, what they're going to do, what their reactions are. Depending on what the group does, I know what their reactions are going to be.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to be hostile or not.
And I find it after about 3 sessions, definitely, I'm big on the session zero. I never called it that. I just call it rolling up characters, and we all sit
Yeah.
around a table and roll up a bunch of characters together and talk about each other's backstories and tie each other together somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote that the Bloody Tower and Crypt, because I hated that whole concept of everybody wanders into a bar. It doesn't, it's not feasible for me. That doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
that's why I wrote that module to help others figure out different ways of gathering the party, and then they leave that tower as a viable fighting unit, and they can either stick with the party or they don't.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I believe in getting the party started, and you have to tie them all together somehow, and get a cohesive unit out of it.
Absolutely. That's and I've just watched so many other. I mean, even some of these professional guys, even the creators of this game. You know how they go around the table and introduce themselves, and I'm just like, that just doesn't work for me. It's awkward,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I find that with that scenario, that so they're basically heard from the town criers that there was work in Fandolin, and everybody's hungry for money and work, and so they all set out individually, and they're forced into this tower from a hurricane,
Huh.
and so they're forced together to take shelter, and then there's an entrance way to a crypt or whatever, or I call it a temple, but it's more or less a burial crypt.
Yeah.
So and then once they go through that, they have to fight together,
Right.
and then they come out, and then they meet Gundren on the road with Sildar. So you know the it just seems more natural to me that way.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you prepare well, you should have a good session. I think, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. I and what's really uncanny is you were talking while I was trying to sign in about all of us getting together. It seems that we've all been drawn together somehow, some way, and I'm glad that we have. I've made some very good friends, you and Haight and Zach and Cujo, and it just and this Eric G guy, the way he came into play, it was just, I think the gods are smiling on us
Yeah.
in whatever way that is.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this game, big time.
Yeah. I logged in. I'm not sure how that all works yet, but I'll talk to you later about that. So
Right.
I'm definitely looking forward to gaming some with you guys. Now, like you said before, Hate's got a problem with his schedule, so that
Yeah.
may be the only hang up.
Well, I mean, he seems to be free days when everybody's at work,
Yeah.
and then he's got kids, and he's a family guy, as he well should be. And I mean, that should be top priority is your family.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
always been mine anyway.
Yeah. It's tough. You got a family. It's tough to make time for D&D sometimes.
Unless the family's part of the crew.
Yeah, and that's my one saving grace is I have one of the boys that plays D&D with us.
Yeah, and that book that I sent you, that was my ex-wife's.
Yeah.
And so, we all, it was a big happy family of adventurers that campaign went on for 11, 12 years. They wouldn't let
Oh.
me go to sleep hell, we'd play all weekend long.
Oh my.
And nobody would
Yeah.
leave. They'd camp out on my couches.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had
Those were the days, huh?
Well, as soon as they started leveling up, and then then Ravenloft came out, and that's got to be, in my opinion, until Lost Mines of Phandelver, that was the best product I've seen, come out in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it gave them a castle and a town, and I put it right at the entrance of the Valley of the Mage. It seemed like a very logical place for it.
Yeah.
So, back then it wasn't the yawning portal; it was the Dewdrop Inn. And
That's
so they had the Dewdrop Inn within a couple days journey of Ravenloft, and I used the tech, the swallowed by the mist thing. But back then it was not really. It was pushed that it was a real place, that it wasn't on another plane,
yeah.
that it was actually a place that existed on Greyhawk.
Yeah. That's
So,
funny because you said the Dewdrop Inn, and I've used that in my world. I use Mystara as my world,
right.
and I use my own homebrew political systems for it. I try to follow a little bit on Mystara, but there's so much written on Mystara that you'd have to read tens and 20s of books of just to figure out who's doing what. I just kind of make my own history as I went.
You know what I found to be quite useful tool is that wiki.
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms wiki. That is, and you know, there's a Neverwinter interactive map. There's there's several I think there's Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep. I don't know, but there's definitely several interactive maps on the internet of cities, and there's just a wealth of information out there, man.
Yep.
Everything's on the net now. Everything.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, I had a player in the group that I left because they just weren't paying attention. You know, I mean, I spent $50 a trip driving up there, round trip, and it's like, man, dudes, hey, you guys. I mean, there was one game I just had to walk out and walk back in because I was like, killing me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all friends, and I love them to death. And I told them, I said, when you guys get your stuff together, call me.
Yeah.
I'll be back, you know. And they want to play, but they don't want to play. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Our group, we got 10 players, and last month we were missing 3, so it was kind of aggravating. But at the same time, it's still fun. You know, you still got 7 players, so we're going forward.
I find that anything over 6 is kind of almost unmanageable unless
it's tough.
You know, it's. I think 5 players and a DM who plays an NPC is a pretty decent sized group.
Yep.
But I mean, 3 people, 2 players and a DM is cool too. I mean, I'm running a game, but I did get a call from Bob, and he said that, you know, his schedule was too intense right now, and I'm like, I think there's another issue going on. But yeah, so just talk to me, man. I've been, life has been rough for me, and I'm not complaining. It just is. And go ahead.
It's life, yeah.
Yeah, it just happens, and you know, like, so. I mean, I couldn't help my damn truck broke down, and you know, and so I was relatively unprepared, and you know, and not set up, so they, you know, had to sit around for an hour. But what's an hour? You know, I mean, we played for 3.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're supposed to be buddies. You know, I mean, we're hanging out's what we're supposed to do anyway. So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, I'm about out of time here because I got to get running.
Okay, my friend. So I'm bookmarked this.
Alrighty. I appreciate you coming on. And,
absolutely. Anytime, my friend. You have my undivided attention, my brother.
Yeah, because I really appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate everybody showing up to listen to us. And everybody out there, have a good game until we meet again.
Yes, until we meet again, and let's talk about that game, boss.
Yep, I want to end the broadcast, and then we can sit around and chat a little bit.
Okay, buddy.